Hello, welcome to another edition of the Breakdown.
Breakdown. Steady breaking me on down. Breakdown. Steady breaking me on down. Breakdown. Steady breaking me on down. Breakdown. Steady breaking me on down.
I'm here and I'm listening to your intro. I wanted you to finish. I didn't know that was all you was gonna say, man.
That's all I was gonna do, man.
Yeah,
Just getting the party started right, getting the party started quickly. I'm just saying.
Man. No, because I've been like, okay. I'm gonna tell y'all where this came from, because I've been watching this certain celebrity couple, and I name them Bay and Jay. Bay and Jay, Jay and Bay. The before and after of when he pretty much put on display that, yeah, I cheated on the Beyonce, I stepped out and this and that, and this. And then the apology came forth and how he was so sorry that this happened. And I've been sitting there thinking, like, a regular dude, and I'm not, in any shape, form, saying that cheating is okay or a good thing. But I just look at the difference of, I'm looking at the difference of the acceptance of it happening because he got money.
I don't think it's always about the money, though. I don't always think it's the money, though, man.
But that's what I've been seeing. That's what people been saying. Okay, I'll tell you what I've been seeing. I've been on Facebook.
I mean, that's where we're going to get
and
everything
I've been watching
from
my
on
timeline.
Facebook. Right. So you're not wrong.
Yeah, I've been watching my timeline.
I don't think, honestly,
you don't think what?
I don't think it's because he has money. Because if you actually look at it, dude, celebrities, especially celebrities, we follow their lives so much that when they do something wrong, when they step out, when they have cheated on your favorite celebrity, or in this case on Bay, we know. We sometimes know before they do in some cases. But what I'm saying is, it's like, I don't think we give them a pass because they're celebrity. I actually think it's the exact opposite. Because people are harder on you when a celebrity cheats on another celebrity, because it stays. It will always be remembered and we'll never forget. Prime example. The couple of the 90s that everybody went crazy over, they were basically the Jay and Bay of the 90s, was, well, it depends on your ethnic background. One side of the coin, it was Bobby and Whitney. The other side of the coin, it was Britney and Justin Timberlake. And Britney most definitely stepped out on Justin Timberlake to the point where, they wanted to hang her. Like, they had came down on Britney so hard, and her life was so messed up, and the guy she chose was so far worse than than Justin, that the girl went crazy and shaved her head. Okay? But the thing about it is even to this day, they will still bring up relationship celebrity couples, and it'll be Justin and Britney will get brought up, and they will automatically be like, see, Britney was stupid. That's why that girl got crazy. That's why that girl went crazy. Should have stayed with him. So they will, as celebrities, they will always hold on to that. Normal people, we can get away with it. Okay, we can cheat in this relationship over here. That relationship ends. Outside of the people that we have connected to that person, we can move to the next relationship. We can move in silence. I can go and stay with the girl I cheated with, and I won't get too chastised, especially if that relationship works. Okay, so if I go over here and I cheated on Teresa, and we split up, and I stay with the girl we cheated with, and we have a flourishing relationship, did I really lose? No, I didn't. If I break up with her, everybody's gonna be like, see, you stupid for that, but I can move to another girl and everything will be okay. Celebrities can't do that. They can't move in silence. Okay? It's always going to be there. Look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown hit Rihanna years ago. Rihanna and Chris Brown done hooked up on the load and hung out the whole 9 yards, but Chris Brown will always be remembered for putting his hand on Rihanna. Even though none of us was there in the car to know what Rihanna did that made him say, I'm sick of your shit, smack. Even though we don't condone it, it's not justifiable. But I'm just saying, we still look at Chris Brown as being this bad person. And anything Chris Brown does for the rest of his life will always go back to that moment. I honestly think, and this is my honest opinion, specifically with the Beyonce and Jay-Z situation, it never happened. I feel like it was a marketing ploy. I feel like it was a marketing ploy. Think about it. Jay and Beyonce owns a streaming service called Tidal. Okay? It is the number 4 streaming service out right now. It might actually be number 5, but it's the number 4 streaming service. On one side of the coin, this streaming service is fantastic for the artists, but we don't have enough people listening to it. Okay? And not a lot of people own Tidal. Okay? So, what is a good way to make people have to get your service? Exclusive content, right? Who is the biggest selling pop star right now that no matter what this pop star put out, people will buy they mess? It's Beyonce, right? So, I go ahead and I release an album. I don't tell you about the album. I just bring the album out. It just shows up. It just happens. But the only place you can get the album is on Tidal. But in this album, I'm going to talk about a few things. Now, one, she never verbally said on the album he cheated. She insinuated. People came up with the conclusion because before she dropped the actual album, she did this video album on HBO. Whereas if Jay-Z played the boyfriend that did the wrong in the video. And everybody jumped on it and was like, Jay-Z cheated, Jay-Z cheated, Jay-Z cheated. Let's kill him. But people forget that towards the end of the visual album, she forgave him. He admitted his fault in the visual albums, and she basically said, don't do it again. Okay? But then everybody jumped up and went out and downloaded this album that's exclusive to Tidal only. Okay? To Tidal only. So boom! Tidal just went through the roof. Okay? Tidal just became the number 3 streaming service, probably number 2 at that point in time, because the only other way you couldn't get Beyonce album anywhere else for at least a month, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? Now Tidal's starting to go back down again. People are not buying Tidal. Kanye knew this exclusive, but he dropped the ball, and a week later releases it on Spotify and Apple, and he creates a whole big frenzy. So now nobody don't want to fuck with Tidal. Tidal falls back down. So Jay-Z comes out here and say, okay, let me go ahead and drop this 8-track EP/album of a grown man at a barbecue teaching his nephews and dropping knowledge. And in here, he admits, like, yeah, I did this, I messed up, I'm sorry. For all we know, that is the response track to the album, the track on Lemonade. Once again, we're eating it up because we live in a world where we love gossip. We love to get in people's business. Shows like Love and Hip Hop has gotten us to the point where we want to know all the dirty little secrets that celebrities do. Okay? And because of this, we're all in it. So we're all like, man, we gotta have that album. We gotta download this. We gotta do all this different stuff in regards to it. So for honestly, I don't really think it happened to that extreme. I don't think it happened. Okay? I think it was all a marketing ploy that was set up to help push album sales, to help push this ideology, because in that same Lemonade album where Jay-Z cheated, Beyonce's telling everybody, leave your man, go do your own thing. Women get in formation. We don't need no man. You just had twins. So you ain't going nowhere anytime soon. You telling all these girls to go out here and lead a man and become independent woman and do stuff on your own, but you at home loving your mogul. You over here building empires.
Yeah. Yeah, you right about that.
You see?
When you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not mad, and I get it. I get it. Okay? I get it. But for us men, we don't get too many things we can be cheered for. It's to the point right now that I can log in some groups and I'm looking at women destroying men. Like every time a man says something, men are being destroyed, and they could literally sit here and say, hey, I'm sorry for all men that's done you wrong. I hope you ladies find a man that will make you happy. Fuck you, nigga, you ain't shit, fuck men, all this. I'm like, damn. Just chastising it. You crucified him for no reason. You know? But these are the same ones who listen to Beyonce religiously and take every single word she say as gospel, but don't look at the face value of what's going on. She's not living by what she's preaching. So all I'm saying is, should we praise the men for admitting they're cheating? No, we shouldn't praise them, but we should commend them for creating a dialogue that can now be discussed. Because now, just like we're doing today, we can now have a show about the consequences of cheating. Now we can talk about what your actions can lead to that will put a mind state in for people who maybe was like, you know, old girl with the fat booty at work been hitting on me. Let's now talk about what could happen if you go home with old girl with the fat booty from work. What are you losing? As a father and as a husband, I know what I could be losing. As a person like you, Gator, who's been the person being cheated on, you clearly can see what you can lose even as the person who's been cheated on, not necessarily the person doing the cheating. You know what I'm saying? These are dialogue. These are things that people don't take in consideration when they go for that one quick thrill. But that's the dialogue that needs to be had. So, no, we shouldn't be like, yeah, bro, you cheated. You know, you a real man for coming out about that, dog. I commend you. Nah, man. It's like you a real man to accept the fact that you fucked up and you're ready to accept whatever consequences that come along with it. Because famous people will lose money quickly when you cheat.
Oh, yeah.
That common wife that you marry who's been holding you down will quickly take your ass to court, and you will have to pay alimony. You could be married for 1 year. Oh, you famous and you cheated? She gets $1 million a year. You ain't did a movie in 7. Okay? You ain't been in nothing since you did a cameo scene in Beverly Hills Cop 3. So, but you got to pay $1 million. Let me stop. I've been going for a while.
No, you right though. That's basically the gist of it. Because I'm surprised ain't nobody talking about that. That's what I was looking for. Somebody saying something about that, but ain't nobody saying nothing about that. It was just a trip to me because, and yeah, it was majority women that was even when it first came out, it was, oh my God, I can't believe this. Woo, woo, woo. They ready to snap out. They tripping, throwing a fit. And then he did the apology, quote unquote. Like you said, you never know if it was a ploy because publicity is mud.
I mean,
And it did come around. It was around the time that all that came out.
and I get it, and I do.
It was
Don't
a
get me-
lot going on.
It
at
was a
the
lot
time.
going on. That's why I said I
So-
get it. I understand
Yeah.
everybody ready to kill Jay-Z. Okay? I get it. I'm not even anywhere close to upset about it because, you know, as a dude, especially a dude that I look up to musically, when you have everything, like when you have everything, you're on the top of the mountain in the rap game. You have your hands in so many other side projects that you don't never have to rap again and you'll still keep making money. You bagged the baddest chick in the game is wearing your chain. This is your own words, okay? You don't need to deal with these hoes anymore. So hopefully it was just a marketing thing. But if you honestly sacrifice or risk it all for a one-nighter with Becky, which that alone made me mad. Like, dude, you got the number one chick out here, and you was gonna throw it all away for a white woman. When we know for a fact white women purposely break up homes. Okay? Purposely break up homes. You gonna throw it away for that?
Yeah.
You could have did better.
That's kind of.
You could have chose better. If I'm gonna sacrifice my whole everything, it is not going to be for a white woman who I'm probably not even gonna stay with. No, I can't do that. If I'm gonna sacrifice it, it's gonna be for the right reasons.
And what's the right reason?
What's the right
See,
reason?
that's the whole conversation. See,
That's a whole.
that's the whole conversation. Like that. But see, that's the conversation. Like, what is the reason? Like, my whole thing was, it was more affected to me. Things like, and I'm speaking about social media, of course, but
Right.
social media was the one that was harping at the first place.
Because
And they
it was
ready to hang you.
like I said,
They
it was
ready to
Beyonce.
kill them back.
It was okay. So this is where
And
it plays to what
you
you
right.
said. It was Beyonce is the reason why social media tore it apart. Because, like you said, you have the baddest chick in the game wearing your chain. You put it in a song. I am quoting you verbatim. Okay. So it's one of those why sacrifice what you have. If you are putting the stamp on this is the greatest thing to happen to me next to the birth of my child, which is by the same chick, okay? Why sacrifice it?
Yeah.
And then being famous, you know how much, like, not saying that Beyonce needed his money, because she don't. She makes just as much, if not more, at this current moment in time than Jay does. We don't know. We don't know what their bank accounts really look like and who's bringing in what. But it's not like she needs his money. But if she wanted to get a divorce, if she wanted to take half of everything that he has, she can. It can be done. Okay? Because this is a top celebrity. Everybody loves Beyonce. People who hate Beyonce don't hate Beyonce. They hate themselves and they blame it on Beyonce. Because nobody can honestly hate Beyonce. You can't. Can if you try. You can't. I can't stand her, but I don't hate her. I just don't like her. She's not my preference.
Yeah.
But you
I
can't
think
hate
that's
her.
what I meant. I ain't like.
Like, I don't hate her.
I don't hate nobody,
I
but
don't hate her. It's just not.
you know.
I can't get jiggy with this. But it's not made for us to get jiggy with
I'm
them.
not
It's
a
not
big
for us.
fan.
It's not for us. It's not for us. It's for
True.
the women. Them. They stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's what
Crazy.
we talking about.
Right. So that's the whole thing with it. And I'm not mad at
Definitely.
her whatsoever. I'm not. But since we here, like I said, let's have this dialogue about cheating and the consequences of cheating. Now, I don't know if you're comfortable about talking about your own personal situation, but I mean, are
Now
you
you
first?
know I don't have a problem talking
No,
about
sometimes
me.
you got to ask these questions.
I
You got to be
talk-
courteous.
I think I talk about me every show.
It's your show, so you should. So, as a person who,
every show.
as a person whose significant other did step out on them, like when this information came to you, how did you feel about it?
It's well. Let me put it this way. It wasn't the first time.
And I get that, and that's why I'm asking you,
Oh.
as a man to another male, how did you feel when you found out that the woman that you married was stepping out on you?
I ain't gonna say I knew, but I had an inkling. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but as far as I know, me, usually when something is going down, I get some kind of heads up or a feeling, and you know, things ain't going the way it's supposed to be going. She reacting the way she's supposed to be acting, you know. Something ain't right.
Right.
So in a way, I kind of knew, but I didn't want to accept it because for me, and like I keep saying every show, we talk about stuff like, you know, all this kind of stuff. I'm a different type of guy. So when I'm in a relationship, I pretty much bear all, especially my marriage. I felt like I could bear all, give all, and it'll be given back to me. Especially in the circumstance that I was in, where it was 5 kids in the situation, and I was doing for all of them. This was before my daughter was even born. And so I figured I could bear all and receive all back. But when I found out, it was still kind of, nah, I don't believe it. And the funny thing is, the funny thing to me was that in my situation, it all circled around this damn the Sims Online game. That's where mine was. And I found out because you never know, people be messing around, they just telling you shit, and they just saying stuff just to say stuff, or whatever the case may be. But actually on the game, and I know it's a lot of gamers out here, I was basically one of the mob. I was one of the top mob bosses on the game. And so I had people answering to me. And so it came to me through one of the guys that was working for me. And they came back and said, hey, ain't such and such your wife in real life? And I'm like, yeah. And they knew a lot of stuff, like when she usually is on, what city she was in, all this type of stuff. They knew a whole lot of details. And instead of me going at them like, you know, or going to find whoever dude was, I took it to her. Now, my thing when I knew it was right was she snapped. She got pissed off and went off and was talking about me trusted and all this time. Now, leading up to that, the whole time leading up to that, maybe 3-4 months, I kept being attacked and told that I was cheating and I couldn't go to church, which was like maybe a mile from where I lived at, without phone calls being made, and her trying to make sure that I was actually at church when I was supposed to be. So she was keeping tabs on me like a mug, which I found.
I mean, I told you.
Like,
Well, I told you that she was doing that because she was creeping. And
yeah, but
when
you know, when you in the midst of it, you don't think about stuff like that.
And I get you. And you know, and I get and I'm kind of glad we both on the phone right now with this episode, because like, just like as you have no problem admitting that you cheated, you've been cheated on in your previous relationship, I will occasionally come out and actually admit that I've done it. I've actually cheated before too. And a lot of times it's not the way people think. So when people talk about cheating and stepping out, the first thing that they always go with is simply because you couldn't keep it in your pants. Okay? And one thing I can say is that had maybe only 10% to do with it. A lot of it was more of an emotional thing. So, like, I don't know about your ex-wife and the reason why she did things, because based on previous episodes and even episodes, and I can't believe I'm getting ready to say this, even episodes of Sex Battles that you talked on, it sounds like this was just the nature of how she was anyway. I feel like even if you did not leave her, she would have still continued to live this life of stepping out on you. And you were smart enough to get out the situation before it got any deeper. Me personally, a lot of mine was emotional. It was emotional things. Me and Teresa had been together for quite a long time at this point, and we had a very high sexual relationship, but the emotional connection wasn't always 100%. A lot of it was conveniency. A lot of it was, you know, we got ourselves into some situations that we together was trying to get cleared up, and everything just rolled into one big ordeal. But what was happening was the communication wasn't there, and the attention wasn't there. Teresa is a very career-driven individual, and there was a point in time where she was working 2 jobs, going to school, and, you know, heavy in church at the same time too. So her whole plate is full. So from the minute you wake up to literally damn near the minute you go to bed, when you do find time to sleep, your time is occupied. And because Teresa was a very honest woman, she still is a very honest woman, I could ask her, is there somebody else? And she would tell me no. And I would honestly God believe her, because there's no reason not to believe her, because she has no reason to lie. Okay, you guys heard the episode when my folks called in, and my mom told the story of how she came home and Teresa openly admitted what we just got done doing. If that ain't the most honest person, I don't know what is. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but to continue on with the story, a lot of it was emotional attachment. I never felt that I was needed in the situation, because if you're up doing everything, you're on the grind, you're working, you're in school, you got a job, you got all these different things going for you. Now, this was before the kids were born. The question becomes, what do you need me for? Where are you when I need my attention, when I want to just cuddle up with you and have these emotional connections? I wasn't getting them. She wasn't providing them. And she didn't see that was an issue. So I would start hanging out with my friends. Now, this time, all my friends are single. All of them are single, okay? I'm not only the only one in the relationship, but I'm the married one. But when you look at my situation, it didn't look like I was married. You come to my house, it didn't look like I was married. When we going out kicking it, she ain't nowhere to be found. When we doing group things, she don't want to be a part of it. So, of course, it's one of those, it got to the point where people were even asking me, was I really
Are
married?
y'all still
Why
together?
don't you-
Yeah.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. Because eventually, over time, ironically, when something like this happens, your maturity gets tested. Both parties. Your
Yeah.
maturity gets tested. You get tested as the person that cheated. Was it even really worth it? Did you do this to get that other person's attention, or did you do this because you needed to know whether or not you still want to be here? Okay? And that's what comes from that. When you do this, it doesn't necessarily always mean it's a sexual thing. A lot of the time, I was really just hanging out with these girls, doing the things that I wanted to do with Teresa. Okay? That's really what it
But
was.
she wasn't.
But because
Yeah.
but because my time, my attention, and eventually my feelings started going towards these other women, it's technically categorized as cheating. I never slept with them,
Yeah.
but we live in a culture where
Emotional.
the sleeping with someone has more weight than the emotional part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the emotional part of it played a big factor. I basically looked for attention from somebody else because I wasn't getting it from the person I should be.
hmm
Case in point.
And I
I'm
think
glad we
women-
did work through it because I got the little one now because of it, with both of them.
Yeah. Well, women look at it differently too, because to a lot of guys, emotions to them don't play a part of it. And I seen something. What was I watching? I think it was something on Facebook I seen where I'm gonna try to find it. Dude was talking about how guys can go out and have sex with 2 and 3 women and not feel nothing behind it.
We can.
And he was
that's a fact.
saying how women get emotionally tied up to it. It's a difference. He
Well,
was like
the
that's
women,
why.
of,
That's
the
why.
women of old, the women of old.
Yeah.
'Cause this new generation, they worse
They
than
don't
men.
feel no more.
Right. They worse
But he
than
was
men.
saying that's why women take it so hard, because they know how they love it. And they know how they feel about those situations, because they get tied up and emotionally is a big thing to them. So yeah,
Well, because that does it. We say men think with their heads, women think with their hearts. So because of that, we mentally analyze everything. If you ever pay attention to an argument, okay, if you can make a woman throw her off her game, off her facts, off her figures, off anything that requires her to quickly think in the middle of the conversation, she will go numb. She won't fight and argue back with you. Whereas in a man, if you give a man 5 seconds to think while that argument is going on, you give him 5 seconds. Once he thinks, he will have an answer for you, whether it's the truth or the lie. Because all we need to do is think and we get through. But women are emotional. That's why these guys can sell a woman a dream. They can play on her heartstring. They can sit here and tell you, I love you, baby. You mean the world to me. You do this for me. You my queen. You the whole 9 yards. They can talk that game because that game pulls on their heartstrings and they fall for it every time. That's why you'll have these men who ain't worth nothing and the women that will love them to death because they are playing on their emotional paths in regards to that. And you create these situations where men will go out here and do whatever. Yes, we can sleep with anything because with us, it is only about getting that nut off. We don't care who it is. That's part of the reason why this whole sex doll thing is becoming such a major conversation right now, because at the end of the day, it's nothing more than us getting a quick release so we can continue on with our everyday life. A woman needs a full emotional attachment. She needs to feel like this is going to mean something, because at the end of the day, she has way more to lose in the situation than a guy does. Yes, the same thing can happen to both of them, but we live in a society where men can easily abandon a lot of situations. Men don't go to the doctors as much as women do. And women have to go to the doctor for 3 or 4 different reasons when we don't even go for the one, a regular yearly checkup. Okay? So we literally can be walking around with any type of disease, and we will never know because we don't go to the doctor enough to find out. Okay? We don't. Number 2, women are the ones who get stuck with the responsibility. If we sat here right now and I slept with a woman and I got that woman pregnant, okay, she's the one who has to make the decision first whether or not she wants to keep it or get rid of it. Okay? That's the first thing. So she has to live with that thought of, do I want to bring something into this world or do I want to kill something? That alone is going to tug at her. Because if the abortion doesn't go well, her body can be damaged. She can bring a deformed kid into this world, and it's a constant reminder of a bad decision she made that resulted from a bad decision in one night. Okay? Then if she does decide to keep it, she has to raise it. Is this person going to be there for her like they say they're going to be there? If they're not going to be there, you have to deal with the decision of raising this person by yourself. Let's not forget that if you had this kid with a man who you knew you shouldn't even been with, the stipulations, the headaches, the problems that will come just for the simple fact that you gave Todd that works down at the bar some, when you know in the back of your mind Todd is married. That is a whole nother problem that you have to create. So women have a lot more they have to sacrifice in these situations. So they don't want to waste it on someone who's selling them false dreams, because that false dream turns into a nightmare in one shape or form. Okay? So it's tricky for women. That's why these women get so upset about no good men are left. Yes, we can sit up here as men and say, yes, there's still good men alive. There's good men out here. You just not finding the right one. No. They talking about the good man that is not going to give them these issues. They're talking about the good men who are approaching her to make her feel like a woman. She's talking about, where are these men at? The men that would take her out on a date, wine and dine her like you're supposed to do, and if she decides to give it up that night, she won't regret the decision in the morning, because not only are she's going to take the proper precaution, but you're going to take the proper precautions as well. You know, that's what she wants.
Yeah, and it's out there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I went on that tangent. I had to channel all my sisters.
No, you right.
And all the things they've told me. And the issues that they've gone through dealing with men.
You right, because I've had these conversations myself. not just sisters either. Just like,
I know my sisters have told my
women
sisters
in
how.
general.
Woo. I'm just saying. And the fact that I have 2 little girls, it's even more important to me, because now I have to have that conversation with them. I have to have that male perspective conversation with them. And I don't want it to be after they've already been coerced by a guy in school to just let me put the tip in. And now my daughter has to deal with things that she should never have to deal with. And it's not even about bad parenting, because we can parent our kids all our want, but society can tell them something completely different. And it's, well, if you don't
Absolutely.
do what everybody else is doing, then you not cool, you not down. And now here's my kids thinking that they're being outcast because they don't go with the social norm. And I need to teach them that it's okay you don't go with the social norm. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. If you're in a situation and it doesn't feel like this is right, you don't have to do it.
Yeah. That peer pressure is admired. You sure right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's
Like,
different.
this
Yeah, it ain't.
this is a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah, and a lot of people scared to have it. Scared, frightened. Don't know how to begin it or start it. Okay, that's a question. Talking to your, and I know your daughter's young now.
I have goddaughters that I've literally raised all the way up until they're adults right now. Matter of fact, when my goddaughter turned 20 years old and she got pregnant with her son, I was the last person that she wanted to tell, because she felt that I was going to be disappointed in her for getting pregnant at such a young age, because she knew how I felt about teenage pregnancy. Like, she was legitimately scared because she really thought that I was going to disown her.
Wow.
Because I kind of instilled, like, certain things I wanted her to achieve in her life. And I didn't want having a kid to be something early in her dreams. Not saying that she couldn't do it and still have kids, but I wanted her to be able to go through the process of enjoying life and then have kids, because you can do so much more when you don't have kids as a responsibility.
Yeah. Which is understandable. That's, hey. I feel the same way. But sometimes we just, I don't know, it goes a little different. It don't go the way that we want
It goes
to.
different. It can be avoided.
Yeah.
But it's not something that you can always. Things happen. You just got to be prepared for it. But if you can keep down the thought of having kids at a young age, it's better for you in the long run.
That is so true. I don't know how many young mothers I done talked to that said, or even older now, that said, man, if I would have waited, if only I would have waited. But because society makes it so easy for us now, like, you don't even have I mean, even in school, and we had conversations and all that back in the day when I was in school about this sex ed and all that kind of stuff.
You had conversations about how it worked. But because people are cautious about what you say and how you say things, they don't actually have the talk. They leave that up to the parents. But the parents don't want to have the talk.
Giving out
they
stuff.
want but they don't want to have the talk. See, there's a difference. There's a difference between having the conversation and actually having the talk.
Because I overheard my niece and nephew was talking the other day, and they was talking about the class, I think it was, health or something, and how they had gave them all these condoms and stuff, and I'm like, what? But, well, she is in 9th grade, so, yeah. It's a lot of them having sex even before 9th grade, which is crazy. Getting out here not knowing what they getting into. And like you said, until it's too late, and it happens, and it's like, oh, I done messed up. But yeah, you want to call in and join us at any time. All you got to do is pick up your phone and call in right now to join us. I think Queen is about to join us. All you got to do is call 347-989-8472. That's 347-989-8472. And yeah, press the 1 button. It'll bring you into the conversation that we having right now. Cause and effect. That's what we're talking about. The cause and effect. And I know it's a lot of people that listen, that hear what we're talking about. And, we're just talking about the kids and a little bit of some of everything. We started out talking about the situation of social media and how it affects what's going on now, because the whole conversation of cheating and stepping out on one's relationship was brought up with basically Beyonce and Jay-Z and their situation. And I was looking at the difference, because there's a major difference now that Jay-Z actually came out and he basically apologized for, stepping out and all of this kind of stuff and doing what he did. And like Tone said, it wasn't set in stone that he actually did anything. But what got me was when it first came out and they did the little movie video, whatever Beyonce did, everybody went after Jay-Z and was so upset at him. Like he said, because I didn't even think about that. It was probably because she was Beyonce. And it's a lot of, what do they call them? The Bay, what they call them?
The Bayhive.
The Bayhive.
Yes, the Bay.
That went
The
after
Beehive.
him. Yeah, the Beehive. They went after him like huge, like big time. And then after he pretty much apologized and said he was sorry, and it was a mistake, and he shouldn't have done it, and this and that. These same people that were going after him was like, hey, at least he apologized about it. But my whole thing was not that, yes, it's okay to go out there and do what you want, come back and apologize. It was more that the regular Joe steps out and does something and cheats. And he apologized, and he sincerely apologized, and he gets nothing. Like, there's no, I don't want to hear it. You cheated, you wrong, and he is. I'm not forgiving you for that. But I was looking at it like, man, because he's a celebrity, and it's, like you said, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Wow.
It was, okay, at least he apologized for it. I understand his situation. Woo, like, wow, okay, that's a little different there.
Well, we do have Queen. I think she did just now finally join us.
Oh, she did,
Hello.
But, hey, Queen, I'm glad you're
Hey,
alive.
Queen, welcome.
Hey.
You said I'm glad you're alive.
No, because she's been missing since episode, 3. We're on 14. I'm just
Really?
saying.
That's what you're doing tonight? Get on,
Okay.
Queen.
We missed. I had
Get
done.
on.
No, but getting back on topic here, one thing that I can say that we all tend to forget about, especially celebrity-based relationships. Not everything that happens in celebrity-based relationships comes to us live and direct. Okay?
True.
It comes out
That's
when
true.
the media or when they let you know. So
Yeah.
when it finally came out, the hurt and the healing was done already. Okay? It wasn't like how rappers, when they get dissed, the very next day they run in the booth and immediately make a diss record to follow up in regards to it because they in their feelings and they want you to know that I'm going to be better than you. No, in relationships, especially power couples, they solve all the problems behind the scenes. And this is why I said it was a marketing ploy. They had the conversations already. The information came out. The communication happened. The pain was created. The healing was done. Okay? It was done already. So if she didn't leave him prior to before the album was even worked on, she wasn't going to leave him. Now, like I said before, it's not saying that he didn't cheat. Okay? I'm not saying that he didn't. There's been stories long before they were even known as a couple of him and, dealing with certain people in the industry. So I'm not going to say it stopped or it was said and done. What I'm saying is by the time we got to the point that we're making albums about it, they were healed. Because people don't talk about it until they're healed and ready to talk about it. That's why the common Joe, the common guy, who's sincere about the fact that he made a mistake and he wants to right these wrongs, and she says, no, I can't go back to you, I can't do it, it's because she's still hurt when he's asking for the acceptance. You got to give him time. Like me and Teresa have had our conversation, and when we went to go correct our situation, I couldn't come to her right after she found out. All I could do is explain to her what happened, why it happened, give her time to process it, start the healing, and then go back and work on where we made our mistakes at and what we need to do to fix them. Okay? That's all you can do. Men want things to be corrected right away. So we can move on right away. That's the thinking man thing. Our minds have other things to think about, so we ain't got time to be dwelling on the fact that you're mad at me. Baby, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Let's go get some eat. Okay? Whereas she needs to get the hate out of her heart. She needs to get the heartbreak. She needs to evaluate herself. Why did this happen? Did I do something wrong? Could this have been avoided? Should I go cheat to make myself feel better? She needs to process all these emotional things. And once she processes all of them, then she can come back to him with the decision of what she wants to do. That's why a woman, when she finally says, I want out of a relationship, she's gone through all of that. If she says, I'm done with you, she's done. She's done everything. There's no coming back. If she just throw your shit out the door and say, get out of my house, she's not done with you. She just needs you to leave so she can process everything.
Is that true, Queen?
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
Queen got very quiet all of a sudden.
She did. I didn't use the phrase all women.
Uh-oh.
I didn't put the all in front of the women, so it didn't set up the fat signal.
Don't you do it.
Y'all funny.
Did she leave us? Oh.
I did not.
Is he right what he's saying, though? I want to know.
When I'm done, I'm done. I can't speak for every woman, but when I'm done, I'm done.
But are you done
And when
right
I
away, or does it take you time to be
Yes.
done?
Uh-oh.
The yes wasn't for me. I was just like, what?
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah.
But when I'm done, and it takes time.
Okay.
It takes time, but I give like my what happens with me is that it's stages to me being done. First, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong. I'm gonna even tell you what I think I did wrong in the situation. I'm gonna correct what I did, and I'm gonna hope that you correct it. That's only if I did something wrong in the situation. I'm gonna correct, and I'm gonna hope that you understood enough for you to correct what you did. So we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on for a few weeks. Come back. The same thing is happening all over again. Okay, I just talked to you about this. I don't feel like you understand me or you were listening good enough. So maybe we should sit down and talk one more time about it so you can fully comprehend what I'm saying. Okay? You don't understand? I get it. I'm going to help you understand. Okay? Another few weeks pass. The same thing happening again. Then you're starting to get on my MFing nerves. Because what we're not going to do is keep going through the same thing over and over again. This is the last time. You might even get one, I'm leaving from me, before I'm really leaving. My mom always said you got at least 4 times to tell a man you're going to leave before you actually stand by what you're saying and really leave. When I finally say, you know what, I'm done, when I say I don't care no more, like when you say, well, I love you, and I be like, I don't care what you say you do. Once I say that, oh, it's done. You can forget about it.
Forget
And
about it.
my chances have been, I've been sparing feelings for a long time now. And when I say I'm done, I am finished. I don't care about anybody's feelings anymore. Call me rude, call me harsh, call me what you may, but I don't care no more. Because I finally sat down and I realized, and I cried, and I said, you know what, I could leave this earth at any time. And it will hurt to know that I was never genuinely happy. So bump making everybody else happy. Bump it. I'm done. I have no toleration for nobody but children in 2018. That's the only people I got to tolerate. Everybody else can kiss my whole ass.
Well, damn.
And that's even to my significant other. And that's no lie.
Oh, well, damn.
Shut up, Todd.
Oh,
Cause you just.
oh my. Not expecting
I
that.
can see the look on Todd's face right now.
Like, oh my. Okay.
No, but it's
The only people that should get second chances is when you're with somebody or you're dealing with somebody that y'all two know how to communicate. If y'all don't know how to properly communicate, second chances is going to turn into third chances. Third chances is going to turn into fourth chances because nobody is never going to understand the other one.
Okay,
Yeah.
but now here's I got a question. Do you feel that because communication was the issue the first time, you should give them a second chance so they can work on their communication skills? Because sometimes the issue is communication.
You know, see, the first time I'm going to take it as maybe I was a little overheated. Maybe we really couldn't talk about it because I was actually in my feelings at the moment. So I wouldn't even be thinking about communication the first time.
Okay.
Second
Because that's what
time-
I'm saying. Like, because what I'm saying is like if we get into an argument or we get into a situation and it's about a misunderstanding, and the misunderstanding occurred because we have poor communication skills. Okay, let's use a bill. Prime example. People usually have this issue. I'm always the person that pays the bill. Okay, I always pay the major bills in the house. You take care of the small stuff. I actually did not tell you that we were behind on the utility bill a couple of months because I've been moving money around to pay for everything. Now, I had it planned that I was going to pay it, but I'm moving money around to make this happen. You find out about it, and you get highly upset. I mean, highly upset. We get into an argument over it, but I'm still sitting here like, why are you mad? These bills are still getting paid. I'm still taking care of it. It's an ongoing argument because you feel like I'm mismanaging the money. But now I have to show you every single receipt for every single thing I do, and I feel offended that I need to do that. So we get into a debate and an argument. Do you feel that there should be a second chance? That now that we realize our communication is just off? Or
well, I feel like, yeah, because I feel like that was the first argument. See, if we're always, I'm talking about, even if we're arguing about something different, but we're constantly arguing, that's when you have a problem and you know it's communication. But if you're the one that usually does that, really, I'm stupid for getting mad at you. What I will step back and say is, you know what? Maybe we just didn't communicate like we should. If you needed help, I hope that you would have asked me for help. But if you got it, you got it. As long as my lights ain't cut off, it ain't even no reason for me to be mad. So it's different with me because I wouldn't even be mad at you if you usually the one that pay the bill. How can I be mad at you if I don't know what you do when you're handling that?
Well,
I'm talking about if
yeah.
we're constantly arguing, obviously we don't have good communication skills. And you may know how to communicate. It may just be, I feel like that it's always, each person brings out different things in a person. I feel like it could be two people that are the worst people for each other, but they're great for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that you could constantly argue with one person, and that don't mean that your communication skills are not good. That just means that y'all bump heads so much that y'all cannot communicate successfully, period. No matter how much counseling, how much work you try to do, y'all not going to be able to communicate. And my problem is, with my situation right now is, how can I be mad at my husband how can I be mad at somebody that don't understand or think that they're doing anything wrong? So why am I mad? Because he can't change something that he don't think is wrong, right? I can't expect you to change something that you don't understand that you're doing wrong. So the best thing to do, so I won't continue to be the nagger and nagging in the ear, is for me to step back and you say, you know what? You are a great man, but maybe not great for me. People don't understand. Sometimes some things are just not meant to be, and this ain't and some things are not healthy for either party. Sometimes second chances are not needed. Sometimes just understanding each other, understanding that y'all cannot coincide together, but y'all understand that y'all are both good people. You know what? I don't want to talk about it no more.
That is true.
I was like, you just poured your whole soul out right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. My situation, I don't know. Because it's like, even when we were talking about earlier, people stepping out and doing what they're doing, or, I had no idea. And like Tom pointed it out in the beginning, when I kept getting, because I was getting it hard, I was getting it bad. Like every time I turn around, I was doing something. In her eyes, I was cheating and I was stepping out and I was doing that. And I knew I wasn't. Me personally, I knew I wasn't doing anything. But it kept being said that I was. And my thing was, well, shoot, if I'm not doing it, something else must be going on because I keep getting blamed for everything. I couldn't understand it for nothing.
Because she was doing wrong.
Because she was doing it.
Right.
And I couldn't.
Yeah.
She was keeping tabs on you and everything you were doing because she was plotting everything that she was doing around where
around
you
the
are.
times that I was, yeah,
Right.
yep. And I found that out later on. Tripping, like what? And then, like, it's funny because, like we were talking about earlier, how you can sit back and watch other situations, and it might be the same thing that you're going through, and you can see clear as day what's going on. But when you're in that situation, it's completely different. You don't see it yourself, either because you don't want to see it or you just don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I don't know. But everybody keeps saying that's what's going on. If I was you, I would do this and I would do that. Well, you ain't me. And I remember saying that before. Well, you're not me. This is not your situation. And they be like, man, you was crazy. And then later on, after it happened, and I stepped away from that situation, I sit back and think about it and like, God, dog, how did I let that go on that long? That was my whole thing. Because I don't know.
You were blinded by the treatment that she was giving to you in the beginning, because it was not what you were used to getting, but it was what you were always looking for. And because of that, you looked past some of the other things that was probably going on right in your face because you were thinking about what you were getting. She was giving you the woman of your dreams while being the woman of your nightmares behind your back. And that's where the issue was coming into play at. But you never caught on to it because as long as she was doing this for you before your day started, you didn't care about what she was doing at home because you left the house in a great mood. You at work, you thinking about things that you want to get her, or thinking about the kids, or you're looking at the total picture and the future that we can go, but you're not realizing, like, okay, while I'm at work, she online doing this. While me and the kids are out kicking it, as soon as we go out the front door, dude coming through the back door in more than one way. But it was all woven in so thoroughly that you didn't have the opportunity to think. You know, one thing I can say was Teresa said this early in our relationship. It don't take long to cheat. Okay? You can cheat in a matter of seconds if everything plays itself out in the right time frame. That's why she was so keen about trying to keep tabs of where you were and needed actual photographs or communication from you to prove that you were in this location, because at that point in time, she knew exactly how long it's going to take for you to return back to the house if you are where you say you are. Because if you at church, in some of your cases, you're going to be there for the whole service. Service usually ends about this time. Church from the house is about this long. If the service was good, you're going to talk to Pastor so-and-so for a couple of minutes. You might have to drop off Sister Mary because her grandson ain't shit and he ain't come get her. So she knows all this information because she knows how to manipulate the time. So if she wants to clean up the house before the guy comes over, she knows, okay, I just got to make sure this area right here is cleaned up when I'm done. Or, well, I got to do the whole house anyway. He coming over, we do what we do, and then that way I clean the whole entire house because Jacob ain't going to be home for another 3 hours. She knew how to work the system in her way. Okay? And then the crazy part is, and she probably nasty like this, she would still give you the undivided attention that she's always been giving you just to keep you in the dark about everything else that was going on. She could have had a whole 2 hours with this guy, clean the house, hit the showers, snap it back, and then turn right around and give it right to you like nothing ever happened.
That's crazy. That's
Because
like
people
people
do it.
don't understand, bro.
I'm sorry I had to be so graphical with it. Probably made you look at the situation completely different than you did once before.
But it's true that, man. Yeah. It's crazy. The way you look at stuff after the fact or compared to when you're going through it.
I mean,
yeah.
if everybody could see the outcome of their relationship prior to before they got into it, a lot of people would never get into the situations they get into. First of all, you wouldn't. So everything is a learning experience, most definitely. Communication is the biggest key, but I think a lot of people tend to forget the second most important thing is an open mind. Like, we can sit here and talk all day. We can sit here on this show and we can talk about any topic all day. I can keep pushing my point of view. You can keep pushing your point of view. But if one of us is not willing to have an open mind to receive what's being said, there will never be dialogue. Okay? And that's what a lot of people are missing in the relationship. Everybody wants to be the person that's right, that nobody is stepping back for a minute and saying, okay, let me process what you're saying to me in the way I think and see if it makes sense to me. If it don't make sense to me, let me ask the proper questions that need to be asked to make it make sense with me. People are not doing that. They're just saying, this is the way I've always been. You either don't accept it or you can leave. And then when that person leaves, they don't reevaluate why you left. Like, well, damn, is this so much bad about me that you had to leave? Let me ask people that I've grown up with, is this a plus or a minus about me? Because sometimes you have to go back to people who you've grown up with who thought it was cool and okay because you acted like that, to see if it really was cool or okay. Just because my sisters don't fuss about the way I do things doesn't mean that my woman is supposed to accept it too. Okay? They accept it because I've been doing it all my life and they don't know that there's another way I could be, whereas my woman never had to deal with this before. So she's never had to deal with it. She doesn't have to deal with it right now. Maybe we can make a compromise. Like, maybe every time I come home, I don't walk around in my drawers. Maybe I just walk around in my drawers on Sunday. Okay? You know, like little things. I know that was weird, but just saying, using that as an example. You know, maybe I just don't walk around in my drawers around my daughter. Make sure I have some silk shorts. Maybe I just don't walk around in my drawers at all. Just buy silk shorts for the house only. Little things like this can be the compromise, but if I never hear her saying, this is not right, this is not normal,
it's a problem.
I'm just like, it's a problem. And this goes back to what Queen was saying. Like, if the dialogue is not there, if we can't communicate, it's never going to be a problem fixed. That's not the issue. Everybody communicates because everybody argues all the time. It's nobody's listening with an open, honest ear to receive it is the problem.
Right.
I got you.
That's so true.
That make a whole lot of sense.
I know I've definitely been that person. You know, they just told me things 3, 4, 5 times, and I'm listening and I'm hearing it, and I'll say, okay, I'll do it, but it leaves because it's not processed the way I think right. So by the 5th time, when she's ready to throw something at me and she's walking around quiet and not giving me any attention, and I got to go based on her facial expression, then I have to process it. You know what? I said I was going to do this. I didn't do this. Now I process it. Now it might be too late that it's not fixable anymore, but if we can do that sooner than later, a lot of problems can be rectified with ease.
Exactly. That's all I be saying. That's all I be saying.
Maybe we need to bring him on the show. Maybe we need to
It's
bring
just-
him to the show.
But see,
You
the
stay home,
problem is,
Queen. Let him come on.
like,
Yeah.
like Queen that hear us earlier. We as men don't be thinking about this.
No, we don't.
I'm mental. We don't even be thinking about stuff like that until later on when it's too late. And then we be like, oh damn, I would have just did this. It wouldn't have even been a problem.
But let me tell you why it bothers me so much, because I'm the type of person. Yeah, let me tell you. First of all, I've seen a lot of things with my mom and my dad. So I've been through a stage where my mom was scared to say stuff, and I've been through the stage now with my mom. With my mom, you think she gonna bite her tongue? Please. So I don't. Sometimes what I say comes across harsh, but I feel like that if I love you, I'm not gonna keep nothing in. I always want you to know what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, so we can always be on the same page. Because I don't want to react in a way and you be like, oh, why are you reacting like that? No, I told you what was wrong, and you still did the same thing over and over again. But the thing that bothers me is that I'm the type of person that if something go wrong, I step back first and I'll be like, well, what did I do or say that could have made him do this or act this way? And I've been like that with friends, with my siblings and everything. I'm always evaluating myself before I even place blame on anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And and I felt like if I do that so much, I know people see that I do that. So why is it so hard for somebody to understand what I'm saying? So when I come to you as a wife and I say, you know what, just like, okay, if you talk to me about, if I make you mad, right, and you come to me, it was told, oh, well, and you say to me, oh, I say, you still mad, babe? Well, I got to see how long I'm going to be mad at you. Okay, you got it, because I did something wrong. Well, you tell me how long you're going to be mad, right? But then something happens with you, and I'm mad at you. I get over it. I forgive you. But then as we go back and talk about it, and you say, well, why did you yell at me like this at this time? And I say, well, because you remember what you did, and then all of a sudden, you yell out, that should be dead to you. Why are you still bringing that up? Oh, but
wow.
you had to just see how long you was going to be mad at me and see how long you was going to dwell on what I did. But when it comes to you, it should be dead. That's just, that bothers me.
Okay, so I can tell you right away, you guys definitely get things lost in translation between the two of y'all. And there's nothing neither one of y'all doing wrong. It's just how each one of y'all are processing certain things. Like, for an example, you say things live and direct, and it can come off harsh. I hear that a lot from a lot of females. Like, when they finally become the woman who just speaks what's on their mind instead of trying to leave the subtle hint because the men don't get the hint, the men react because we're not accustomed to a live and direct woman.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband tends to
Now you imagine.
overreact to things too as well. And I've seen it personally from social media behaviors. So he's possessive and he overreacts to certain situations. So he doesn't look at the faults that he brings to the situation, or in so many words, he doesn't look at what he's doing wrong. So you analyze every single situation, which is great. I wish more people did that, okay? I don't care if you analyze during the situation or even after the situation and realize you could have handled it differently. I still need you to analyze. He won't do that. He's that kind of person that being set in your ways is the way he's supposed to be. And he wants you to accept him being set in his way. And he's also one of them people that he's a mental man, like we said earlier, you missed it. So if it's not once it's being spoken of and it's being talked of, when the conversation stops, the whole thing is supposed to stop. So that's how us men think. If you have an issue
Yeah.
about us not taking the garbage out, I'm gonna use that as an example. The minute we grab that bag to take that garbage out, that conversation is
It's
supposed to be
done
done.
deal.
You're never supposed to fuss at us about the garbage again. But you're not done because you want the behavior to stop, not the situation. So you want it to be that don't let the garbage get to a certain point going forward. Put the bag back in the garbage when you take the garbage out. I don't care if you put the bag in before you walk out the house or you put the bag in as soon as you come into the house. Hell, move the garbage can by the door that you go out of so you can remember to grab the garbage at least. You want the
And it's funny that you use that
to
as
be
an example
corrected.
because the garbage is a problem too. You know what?
The garbage is a
Please.
problem for
That's-
every man that don't live alone.
That's what we do. That's
You know
what a
what?
manly
Man.
thing.
It's a
If you see
manly-
it full,
it's a
take it
manly
out.
I do.
Shoot.
You know what? Since you brought that up, so I literally just took the trash out. Now
I get into
my
it.
trash
I
bag-
get into it with my mother-in-law all the time
Yeah.
about the trash because it's
It's
not that I
bad with me
purposely
because-
forget to do the trash. It's the fact that the trash is not located in a normal
Where it
peripheral
needs to
place
be.
for me to remember. Okay? My family, we go out the front door for everything. All the cars are in the back, but we go out the front door, not the side door. If we went out the side door, the garbage can is right there. You see the
Yeah.
garbage can, and you'll see, oh shit, there's go that chicken from last night. Let me take this out before the house starts sinking. Even if I'm running late, I would see it to grab it because it's not in my mind. I don't see it. I don't have the mental behavior to check the
Yeah.
garbage every morning to grab it because it's not in a place I see often. And I have to use that as an example because every woman and every man can relate to the garbage can situation. No matter how long y'all been dating or how long y'all been married, everybody has the garbage issue. But the issue is he took the garbage out. So you should not speak about the garbage anymore in his mind because the situation has been corrected, not the
Yeah, 'cause
behavior.
But
Hey,
if it happens again, I'm gonna speak on it again.
And that's where
Yeah, but what he's saying,
the
we know
translation
that.
is the problem.
We know that.
We know that.
The problem is with dudes, like I was just going to say, I literally just took the trash out because on Wednesday morning, my trash man comes. They come pick up the trash. So instead of us, for a long time, for years, sitting the trash can out on the side of my yard because the way my yard is positioned, the side is how we come into the yard. And we usually are able to sit the trash can right there by the side of the yard. Well, we got a new trash company in the city now. So they won't come down the side streets no more. They told us that we have to take our trash all the way to the front of the yard. I don't use my front door. So I'm never thinking about that. And even putting trash out for the trash man to come because usually I'm doing the show. So I literally, while we was talking, when the show was beginning, walked through the kitchen and saw my trash can and was like, oh, I gotta put this trash out.
Right.
Because like you said, if we don't see it, we ain't thinking about it. Because I
We
sure
ain't
wasn't
thinking
thinking
about
about it. And I seen
But
it,
it's the
and I was
behavior.
like, oh,
But
let
it's
me
the
do
behavior
this.
is the issue. And that's
'Cause
where
my
the problem is.
Come over here.
Go ahead.
My parents will come over here tomorrow morning, quick, and be like, Did you put the trash out? Because I don't know how many times I done forgot because they done switched us up now. And I'm so used to the trash just being on the side of the house. And I can just take it, 3-4 feet to the doggone curb. Now I got to walk all the way to the front. And we were sitting in there talking, and I walked through the kitchen, and I was like, oh, man, because I don't know if you heard me or not. I had muted my phone for a minute.
I literally went and picked up Teresa and came all the way back.
Trying to get all this trash out the house.
It's something, I get what y'all saying with the bossy transaction, but it's something that's a given. And I guess it's safe to say that common sense is like being lost nowadays with people, because some people don't have common sense, and when it comes down to it, it's certain things. Let me tell you what a tiebreaker is. It's my child. My child is not my husband's child. Therefore, I have to see some kind of connection going on, or that's a deal breaker for me also. My son has been part of the statistics since he was born because his father was in prison by the time I was 5 months pregnant. So therefore, him having stability is everything to me. He needs it. Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to it, some things, the trash, you know what? I can live without that. I can get over the trash being full, the trash being left there. I can get over that. I can get over me telling you to get something from the store and you forget it. I can get over that. But when it comes to things after so many years, I give you the first year. You're not a daddy. This is something you gotta learn. You gotta get used to it. But we're going on 4 years. Come on now. When it comes down to it, if you get your hair cut, why you not taking the child to get his hair cut also? Or when I work late at night, and I'm not even talking about just him. I'm just saying in general, no, if you get your hair cut, you should be taking him. If you're broke, that means you should not get yours cut. He should get his cut. Period.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you that.
Then with the whole thing, I call my son, and this is not even my husband. This is my mother-in-law. I call my son. I say, "Did you eat?" "No, I ain't eaten nothing yet." So I called my mother-in-law. I said, "Well, I said, did you eat?" "Yeah, I ate." I said, "Well, did Daniel eat?" "Well, he didn't tell me he was hungry." That is a child. A child does not have to tell you when they're hungry. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come on now. Some things are a given that's not lost in translation. It's just lost in people wanting to do what the hell they want to do.
Well, yeah. I will admit that I will make food for my daughters. Some days they just won't eat it.
Exactly.
So, that's a different story, though. Like, if you attempted to feed the child. Sounds like you didn't attempt to feed the child. I get it. But you know what? Like you said, it's not his kid. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
But no, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother person. Only because I don't want to hear it when it comes to that. Going on 4 years, no. Something should be clicking by now.
I get it. I get it. Something should be clicking. When he said "I do," he married you and everything that comes with you. I'm 100% behind you on that. Okay. I don't know if you heard the step parent episode, but I've been raised. That's just how life is. Period.
Right.
With him, I don't know if it was because things changed once you guys got married. You found out the real him when y'all got married, or he just turned into a lazy sack of shit when y'all got married.
That was my situation.
Right. Or if he just turned into a lazy sack of shit when y'all got married. A lot of things are behavioral with this guy. And behaviors are not something that just happened overnight. He's been like that for a long time. You may just not have seen it in the beginning. He may have developed them because of you. You got to accept that too, Queen. These behaviors may came because of him. But at the end of the day, you honestly need to put an ultimatum on him. You either A, need to fix these situations, or I'm the fuck out.
Oh, yeah, man. oh, this is, y'all, I've been going through, hey, I'm going back home. I already did that. I already tried
I
that
don't
the
know.
whole
Queen,
year
I don't
and
know.
a half.
Queen, I don't know. You disappeared on me. I don't know what you muted me. I don't know what you've done already. I'm talking about you for the sake of the show.
She just got all cooked and set up. No, I don't know what you did.
I'm still the no. This Queen said, "Fuck everybody but kids" in 2018, and I still heard about that. To me, I look at that as you women. Or you people. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, fucked up? I'm the priest.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
Just getting
You
my
did that
feelings
laugh.
lately.
You
I
needed that
did,
laugh.
I
I know
did.
you did. Okay, and that's what Tone Deaf Radio would do for you when you show up. We'll get you that laugh.
For sure.
Oh,
You was like
man.
one show away from being replaced. You were one show away from being replaced.
He said one
That's
show.
messed up.
You shut all this shit down. Queen ain't like I was real. I was just full game to the side. Like, all right, bro, I'm gonna end the breakdown because the contract said Queen and Gator. We ain't had Queen. I can just go ahead and absorb you into the man show if this is what we're gonna do every Tuesday.
That's messed up.
Shut the
Wow.
whole damn studio there. Nah, I'm just messing with you. I personally know you've been going through some things. So I wasn't really tripping about it. I honestly
Yeah.
wanted you to come to the family and speak to us about it because with all of us not knowing your whole situation, we're going to always give you an honest answer. You know, we don't know him. We barely know you. So by coming to us, we give you an honest answer. But you know what, Queen? This is a perfect way to segue into what I got to tell you guys as well as getting ready to end the show. So me and Gator was talking in the chat, and I actually was able to get a hold of a sex therapist. So periodically, here on the breakdown, we will be joined by a therapist on some of these topics where she can give us advice in regards to some of the topics and even answer some of your questions. Because I know for Black people to talk to a therapist, everything is kept in-house. But maybe if we get one of our own to be able to help us out, it'll be better. So probably starting next week, we'll ask the therapist section. Ask the therapist segment on the breakdown.
I like that.
Ooh, it's cold as hell out here.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that was work. So he's looking for that. Ladies really good.
And also,
that out there,
Gator.
y'all.
Ooh, cold. I'm cold, bro. That's what constant weather. You got no coat on.
He says he also asked what? Go on with the rest of it.
No, I said we also got the Ask the Gator section. But that's another show. Wrong show.
They can still listen in. Hear my opinion on what y'all doing and what y'all supposed to be doing. I mean, shout out to everybody that's joined Facebook, our group, and like page. I ain't said that once tonight. I did real good. We're getting a lot of people talking on the like page. So we've been having a lot of communications, and I'm letting them know about the group. That seems that it's a lot of people that getting in on our like page. So y'all go on Facebook and like the page, The Breakdown. And also the group, you can join the group, The Breakdown, on Facebook. We have conversations like this 24/7. Probably somebody in there right now talking about something that's going on. So make sure y'all go on Facebook and do that. Because Queen ain't been here for a minute. Queen, tell them where they can find you at.
Hey, y'all. Well, you usually can find me in the group on the page. But you can find me on Facebook, Queen of Jones. I'll be there. That's about all the social media I got right now, you guys. But you can always find me on Facebook.
Yeah. Find on Facebook. Find me on Facebook. Jacob Marshall.
You gonna find
Twitter.
Queen in jail pretty soon.
At PJ. Uh-oh.
That's what
Here
you gonna
you
do.
go.
You gonna find
The way she
find
was
her.
sounding tonight.
Right, the way she was sounding, you gonna find her in jail soon.
I tell you what.
I have been counting, okay? I've been counting.
I'm just saying,
She's been counting.
it's gonna be.
When I get angry, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, yeah, you count now because pretty soon the back of your shirt gonna say inmate 1742. The rate you going.
Oh, look.
Go ahead and count. Get that.
Oh,
I missed
what
you,
else?
Queen.
Yeah. Oh,
I missed you. I
Oh.
just want you to know that.
are we letting people know about the new concept we looking for?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
I should have asked you in the group.
Yeah.
But y'all pay attention to see what's going on with Tone Deaf Radio, and make sure y'all tune in to the other shows. Yeah, shows pretty much every day now.
Man, after the
Almost
conversation,
stuff is Saturday, right?
after the phone call I had prior to
Huh?
before we started the show, we will literally
Uh-huh.
have a show every single day. Starting by April
Oh,
1st,
cool.
we will have a show every single day in one shape or form. 7 days a week. I am dead serious.
Awesomeness.
That is
That's
so
what's up.
that is so scary.
Why is it scary?
Because first of all,
He said that
That's-
is so
whew.
scary.
that means Tone Deaf Radio will never go down. That means we will always be
Yep,
up, we'll be
yeah.
live and direct. You got a new show, you got a constant opinion, you got new music. Like, everything is just going to constantly keep coming at you live and direct. And it's great on our part, but it's scary for anybody else
Mhm.
out there. Because you got to compete with, you got to do what we do globally. I'm just saying.
That's what's up.
It's a beautiful thing,
Hey.
man. It's a
Be
beautiful-
glad. Yeah.
But,
But
go ahead.
that's our time.
Okay.
That's all
right.
I was gonna say.
Right.
That's our time.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end tonight's episode like the only way we know how.
Thank you for using Blog
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Oh, what a great audience. Let's dim the lights for this next one. Nope, too much. There it is. Gotta get things just right. Like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay, and we help you find coverage options that fit your budget. And now, the mood is right. Wait, the lights are back on again. Trudy, can you? And now it's completely dark.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.